The crystalline spires of Drachmora gleamed under twin suns as Silvara stood before the matching stone, her silver scales catching light in ways that made onlookers avert their eyes, not in admiration but in discomfort. Among the Dracari, color was destiny. Crimson scales denoted warriors, gold marked the wise, emerald signified healers. But silver? Silver was the color of tarnish, of incorrectness, of genetic aberration. "The pairing is rejected," announced Elder Carvoth, his ruby scales glinting with authority. Beside Silvara, her intended mate Zarthex couldn't even meet her gaze. His bronze scales rippled with poorly concealed relief. "She is unacceptable," Zarthex muttered, his voice carrying across the ceremonial chamber. "I cannot bind my lineage to such irregularity." Silvara's claws dug into her palms, but she kept her head high. This was the fourth rejection in as many seasons. Her family's standing had already plummeted. Her mother no longer attended council meetings. Her father spoke of her only in hushed, apologetic tones. "Perhaps the human colony," someone whispered mockingly. "They accept anything." The words were meant as the ultimate insult. The humans had arrived on Drachmora 3 cycles ago, establishing a diplomatic outpost and research station. Most Dracari viewed them as soft, scaleless creatures, interesting perhaps, but fundamentally inferior. Emma checked the atmospheric readings outside the research dome, her tablet displaying perfect conditions for today's botanical survey. Beside her, Harry was triple-checking their translation devices, a habit he'd developed after accidentally complimenting a Dracari warrior's shiny butt instead of honorable spirit. "Translation matrix updated," Harry announced, pushing his glasses up his nose. "We should be good for the market district today." They'd been on Drachmora for 8 months now, and Emma had fallen in love with the alien world. Its architecture that seemed to grow from the ground like crystal forests, its complex social hierarchies, its people who could shift between bipedal and full dragon forms, but she'd also noticed the cracks in their seemingly perfect society. As they walked through the market, Emma's attention was caught by a figure sitting alone near the fountain plaza. A Dracari woman in her humanoid form, with distinctive silver hair that cascaded down her back like a waterfall of liquid metal. She was stunning, her features elegant, her posture proud despite an obvious sadness in her luminous violet eyes. "Harry." "Look," Emma whispered. The woman's scales, visible along her arms and neck, were like nothing Emma had seen before. Most Dracari had bold, saturated colors. This woman shimmered with an iridescent silver that shifted between platinum and pearl depending on the angle of light. "She's beautiful," Emma breathed. Harry nodded. "Wonder why she's alone." "Usually they're in groups." Emma approached carefully, using the translation device. "Excuse me, are you all right?" The Dracari woman looked up, surprise flickering across her face. "You speak to me?" "Of course. I'm Emma, this is Harry. We're with the human research delegation." "Silvara," the woman replied, her voice musical but tinged with bitterness. "You should not waste your time with me, humans." "I am undesirable," Emma frowned. "Undesirable? That's impossible. You're gorgeous." Silver's eyes widened. In all her years, no one had ever called her that. "You mock me." "No," Harry interjected, his scientific curiosity piqued. "We're serious. Your scales, they're incredible. That color shift, the way they reflect light across the spectrum. I've never seen anything like it." "That is precisely the problem," Silvara said quietly. "Silver is not a proper color among my people. I have been rejected from 4 arranged pairings. I am considered defective." Emma felt anger flare in her chest. "Defective? That's ridiculous. Harry, show her." Harry pulled up his tablet, switching to the spectral analysis program they used for geological surveys. He aimed it at Silvara's scales. "Look at this. Your scales aren't just silver. They're reflecting and refracting light across multiple wavelengths. It's like you have prisms built into your biology." Silvara stared at the data, not understanding but captivated. "Where we come from," Emma said softly, sitting beside her. "Differences are celebrated. Unique is valuable. You're not defective, you're extraordinary." For the first time in cycles, Silvara felt tears threatening. "Your world sounds impossible." "It's not perfect," Harry admitted. "We've had our own struggles with accepting differences. Took us a long time to learn that diversity makes us stronger, not weaker." Over the following weeks, an unlikely friendship blossomed. Emma and Harry introduced Silvara to human concepts, art that celebrated uniqueness, scientific principles about genetic variation and hybrid vigor, historical accounts of how Earth's various cultures had learned to appreciate diversity. Silvara, in turn, taught them the deeper complexities of Drakari society, its hidden prejudices and rigid structures. She began to see her own people through new eyes. The turning point came during the Festival of Flames, when Silvara performed the traditional Dance of Elements, a display reserved for unmated Drakari to showcase their abilities. Traditionally, it was a desperate bid for attention, but Silvara danced differently this time. She transformed fully, her dragon form magnificent and massive, and her silver scales created something the Drakari had never seen before. As she breathed fire, her scales reflected and amplified the light, creating prismatic patterns that painted the entire plaza in dancing rainbows. It was like watching the aurora borealis given form and purpose. The crowd fell silent. Emma and Harry stood at the front, cheering loudly, the only voices in the stunned quiet. Gradually others joined. First the younger Drakari, then more until the plaza erupted in applause. Elder Carvoth approached afterward, his expression unreadable. "Your display was unprecedented." "It was honest," Silvara replied, her head high. "I learned from humans that difference is not defect. I will no longer apologize for what I am." Carvoth studied her for a long moment. "Perhaps we have been incorrect in our assessments. The humans see value where we saw flaw. This is educational." Silvara smiled, not for the elder, but for Emma and Harry standing beside her. She had been rejected by her own kind for being different, but these strange, scaleless aliens from a distant world had seen her clearly and had shown her how to see herself. She was not defective. She was perfect in her uniqueness, and that changed everything.